Hello and welcome to another episode of Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today I have a knife overview, review, whatever, look at the Benchmade Mini Griptilian model number 5560-1. So the Benchmade Mini Griptilian gray blue G10 5560-1. All right, so a lot of us are familiar with Benchmade and the Griptilian line of knives. They have a larger, full-sized knife, and then they have the mini grip, and it is a knife designed by Mel Pardue. Very, very popular knife, probably Benchmade's #1 seller. Of course, I didn't look at any stats to verify that, but I'm assuming so because they offer it in a bunch of different colors, and it is also one of their more affordable pocket knives. That being said, I'll go over some stats and we'll talk about this knife and we'll check it out. So the overall length is 6.78 inches. Blade length is 2.91 inches. Blade thickness is 0.1. Let's see. The handle length is 3.87 inches. Handle thickness is 0.51. And the weight of the knife is 2.9 ounces. Okay, so if you're used to holding a mini grip or even the larger size grip, you will notice a weight difference between this and the plastic handled mini grip. And cue the cat. Anyways, so this is a little bit heavier by about 0.4 ounces. And, honestly, I don't care because the size and everything else and dimensions are exactly the same, but with upgraded materials and a couple other things. So I'll talk about that. Off the bat, this is my first Griptilian knife I own, so I was pretty excited to finally get a grip. But here it is. So basically this is a kind of modified drop point blade. It is a flat grind and with a satin finish, I believe. Yep. And you have this flat here. You have the Benchmade butterfly logo there. It has dual thumb studs on either side. You have the Mel Pardue stamp there. Beautiful blade, satin finish, awesome. Came razor sharp. It has a mini swedge at the top. The handle then, well, that's more or less the blade. There's jimping along the top with a slight thumb ramp as well. So that's the blade. Super cool. Looking at the handle is a very ergonomic designed handle that, I don't know, even for the smaller size one, it's really comfortable in hand. The handle material is a G10 and it's a two-tone, so we have a gray G10 front and back scale with a blue liner. I'm not sure if my camera will pick up the pop in color, but definitely those blue like chrome standoffs are just eye-catching when you turn it, because when you look this way it's pretty kind of nothing impressive, and then all of a sudden boom, blue, and then it pops, and that's what I like the most about this knife. As you can see, there's some stainless steel liners that are milled or hidden within the G10 handle scales, and they protrude here to add jimping for the thumb there, as well on the underside. The normal Griptilians are fully encased and they don't have an open back, except for the slight opening up top for whatever, I believe, but I could be wrong. But for the most part, this newer model is pretty exciting because they have a full open pillar construction, so you can see right through it. You can keep it clean, and it just looks sweet. Besides the G10 handle scales, it has black hardware on both sides. You have the axis lock pin, stop pin, or whatever. And then we have the other great feature that they added or updated to this knife, and that is the Benchmade deep carry pocket clip. Now, Benchmade pocket clips are pretty good. I don't have any complaints. Sometimes the clip themselves is a little too shiny, but they want to keep it classy, which is understandable. And they have, I think, 2 or 3 different variations of a deep carry pocket clip. I'm glad we got this one as far as being on the grip. This one actually works fairly well. The screws aren't too obtrusive as far as catching on your clothing to get into that very, very deep carry. I know that on the Valet, it has a double stacked screws, so it's one screw and then vertically up is the other, and it's fairly shallow. So even though it's a deep carry pocket clip, your pants material or pocket material does get kind of caught on that on the Valet. There's very little issue with that on this clip, so excellent job, Benchmade. All right, so here's a quick show of in pocket showing the 556-1 Mini Griptilian G10 with the new deep carry pocket clip. In pocket, slides right in there, really low, really nice. I know my pocket's kind of tore up, but that's what it is. And so I don't have another mini grip to show you a comparison in pocket, but I do have the Benchmade North Fork to show you with their normal split arrow pocket clip, and that's kind of the difference. As you can see, it's much more low profile, and it's easy to get out. So excellent job on the pocket clip. That being said, overall looks, it's just your standard mini grip, but then with the updated materials. Oh, also with the blade, huge improvement besides the 154 cm is that they actually stepped the blade material up, and this is the, you can see it right there, the CPM 20 CV, and a lot of people might not be familiar with it. I'm not terribly familiar with it, but I've heard that it operates similarly to M390. So it's definitely a super steel, and so far, after a week of carrying it, it's held up tremendously well, and it just works really well. So I'm really impressed with it, and you definitely notice the quality of it. That being said, this is a painted pocket clip, and you can already see some wear on the pocket clip, but yet the other materials of the knife are actually holding up very well. So I'm pretty impressed with that. The only thing that could have improved the pocket clip is to have it parkerized like on the North Fork, the Benchmade North Fork, which when it wears it actually kind of adds to the look. But that being said, other than that, no complaints. Excellent job. So let's have some quick comparisons to other knives. We got the Griptilian 5560-1. We have the Benchmade North Fork, which I love those wooden handle scales. We have the Spyderco Cat. Absolutely love this knife in the CTS BD1 blade steel, and I'll line them up to the top of the handle. We also have the actually no, we'll do this one. We have the Kershaw Camber as well. Just to give you some idea, I know most of us know what a mini Griptilian looks like, but you know, it is what it is. So as you can see, blade thickness, it's about the same as the Cat. The Cat might be just a hair thicker. We have the North Fork, and the North Fork is definitely thicker. And then we have the Camber, and the Camber is definitely thicker. Alright. Other than that, cutting, you know, this thing works great. Great slicer. Just that blade steel just holds up so well. I love the drop point blade on this knife anyways. Benchmade has definitely had a classic. I know other reviewers keep it in their knife Hall of Fame or whatever, Hall of Fame knife, but excellent job. The only other thing is the brown glove test. So this is just to test how well the knife handles with a clumsy kind of bulky cloth glove. There isn't much texturing to the G10. They do have those diamond kind of grip patterns there, which does add traction. I can deploy the blade fine with the thumb studs. The glove's a little bit clumsy and bulky, and I feel that part of it overlaps into the closing area of the knife. So as long as I can get that out of the way, it's okay, but opening it is no problem. You could also always do a two-hand close with it as well. So yeah, awesome knife. Does it pass the ugly brown glove test? You know, I'd say it passes. I'd say it passed at about an 80%. So good job. Other than that, price-wise, now this is definitely going to cost more than a standard basic Griptilian, Mini Griptilian. You can get a Mini Griptilian, you know, on the web or at knife shops for around $90, 80 to $90, which is a good deal in itself for that knife. Because this is new release, I believe it came out in 2016, possibly even 2015. This knife is fairly new, and the price range for the models, this is kind of the most standard basic model, is around 165. I believe the other models, depending if they're black coated or not, are anywhere up to 175. So definitely check this out. Check out any of my other knife reviews. Hit like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, whatever it is that they do on YouTube. And check out the eye in the upper right hand corner for reviews on some of these other knives. Thank you very much. Keep cool. I'll see you outside. Thank you.